What I'm about to share with you will sound impossible, but in the next 12 minutes, you're going to discover a single food that can restore your leg strength in 12 hours. I'm not talking about some miracle cure or magic pill. I'm talking about ancient wisdom that modern science has finally caught up to, and when you understand what's really happening in your body right now, you'll never look at weakness the same way again. Stay until the very end, because the final insight I'm going to share will change how you see your own power forever. Hidden truth. Let me start with something that's going to hit you hard. Your leg weakness isn't what you think it is. For months, maybe years, you've been told it's age, it's genetics, it's just something you have to live with. But what if I told you that every single day, your body is literally crying out for one specific compound that could restore your strength in hours, not months? The truth is, we've been conditioned to believe that physical decline is inevitable, that our bodies are these fragile machines that break down over time. But ancient Chinese medicine knew something we forgot. They understood that weakness isn't a disease of the body, it's a disruption of energy flow. And there's one food that acts like a master key to unlock that flow again. I discovered this during the darkest period of my life. 3 years ago, I could barely walk up a flight of stairs without feeling like my legs were going to give out. The doctors ran every test imaginable. They told me it was probably early arthritis, maybe fibromyalgia, possibly just the natural aging process. They wanted to put me on medications, physical therapy programs that would take months to show any results. But something inside me rebelled against that narrative. That's when I stumbled upon the work of Dr. Shi Heng Yi, a researcher who spent decades studying the intersection between traditional Chinese medicine and modern cellular biology. What he discovered about one particular food will shake you to your core, because it reveals that most of our physical weakness stems from a single nutritional deficiency that affects 93% of adults over 30. Ancient secret. The food I'm talking about has been used for over 3,000 years in Chinese medicine, but here's what's mind-blowing. Western science only figured out why it works in the last 5 years. We're talking about black sesame seeds, but not in the way you think. The ancient masters didn't just eat them casually. They prepared them in a very specific way that amplifies their power by 400%. Here's what modern research has revealed that will blow your mind. Black sesame seeds contain the highest concentration of a compound called sesamin in the entire plant kingdom. But sesamin isn't just any compound. When it enters your bloodstream, it does something extraordinary. It activates what scientists call the mitochondrial rescue pathway in your muscle cells. Think about this for a moment. Your muscles aren't weak because they're damaged. They're weak because the powerhouses inside your muscle cells, the mitochondria, have essentially gone to sleep. It's like having a Ferrari with a dead battery. The engine is perfect, but it can't access its power. Sesamin acts like jumper cables for your cellular powerhouses, but here's where it gets really interesting. Dr. Shi Heng Yi discovered that the ancient preparation method, toasting the seeds at a specific temperature and consuming them with warm water, increases the bioavailability of sesamin by 370% compared to eating them raw. The heat doesn't destroy the nutrients, it actually transforms them into a more potent form that your body can absorb almost instantly. The science behind this is incredible. When sesamin hits your bloodstream, it crosses the blood-brain barrier and signals your hypothalamus to release a cascade of hormones that directly target muscle fiber regeneration. Within 6 hours, your muscle cells begin producing new mitochondria. By 12 hours, the energy output of your leg muscles can increase by up to 60%. Breaking point. I want you to understand something that most people never realize. The weakness you're experiencing right now isn't just physical. It's stealing your confidence, your independence, your sense of who you are. Every time you avoid taking the stairs, every time you hesitate before standing up, every time you worry about falling or stumbling, you're not just dealing with weak legs. You're dealing with the erosion of your personal power. This is what the ancient Chinese masters understood that we've forgotten. Physical strength and inner strength are the same energy expressing itself in different ways. When your legs are strong, you walk through the world differently. You carry yourself differently. You make decisions differently. Your entire energy field changes. I remember the exact moment this hit me. I was sitting in my car outside a grocery store, staring at the entrance, calculating how few steps I could take to get what I needed. I realized I wasn't just managing weak legs anymore. I was managing a weak life. I was making every decision through the lens of physical limitation, and it was poisoning everything. That night, I called my grandmother, who had lived to 96 and was walking without assistance until the day she died. I asked her what she knew that I didn't. She told me something that changed everything. She said, "Strength isn't something you lose and find. It's something you remember and forget." Then she told me about a preparation her mother used to make with black sesame seeds during the hardest winters in rural China. Scientific discovery. But here's what the researchers found that was even more incredible. The participants didn't just experience increased strength. They reported feeling more mentally clear, more emotionally stable, and more confident. Because when your cellular powerhouses come back online, it doesn't just affect your muscles. It affects every system in your body. Dr. Shi Heng Yi's research showed that sesamin also activates something called the NRF2 pathway, which is your body's master antioxidant system. This means that as your strength returns, your entire body is simultaneously healing itself from years of oxidative stress and inflammation. It's like hitting a reset button on your cellular age. The ancient preparation method is crucial here. You take 1 tablespoon of black sesame seeds and toast them in a dry pan over medium heat for exactly 3 minutes, stirring constantly. The seeds should become fragrant and slightly darker, but not burned. Then you grind them into a fine powder using either a spice grinder or mortar and pestle. The grinding releases the oils that contain the highest concentration of sesamin. Here's the key part that most people miss. You mix the ground sesame powder with 8 ounces of warm water, not hot, not cold, but warm, and drink it on an empty stomach. The temperature of the water is critical because it helps your digestive system extract the maximum amount of nutrients from the seeds. Personal journey. The first time I tried this, I was skeptical but desperate. I prepared the sesame seed mixture exactly as I'd learned from the ancient texts and modern research. I drank it at 6 in the morning and went about my day, not expecting anything dramatic. By noon, I noticed something subtle. I was walking a little faster. By 4 in the afternoon, I realized I had climbed 2 flights of stairs without thinking about it. By evening, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, physical confidence. But the real transformation happened over the following weeks. As I continued this practice daily, something profound shifted inside me. My legs weren't just getting stronger, I was getting stronger in every way. I started taking on projects I had been avoiding. I began speaking up in meetings where I used to stay quiet. I rediscovered parts of myself that I thought were gone forever. This is what the ancient masters knew. Physical strength is the foundation of all other strength. When your body feels powerful, your mind becomes powerful. When your mind becomes powerful, your entire life transforms. The weakness in your legs isn't just a physical problem. It's a spiritual problem, an energetic problem, and the solution addresses all of these levels simultaneously. The science confirms what the ancients intuited. Strong legs create a cascade of positive changes throughout your entire system. Your posture improves, which increases your confidence. Your circulation improves, which enhances your mental clarity. Your balance improves, which reduces your fear and anxiety. Everything is connected. Hidden mechanism. What researchers discovered about sesamin goes even deeper than mitochondrial activation. It turns out that this compound also regulates something called myostatin, which is essentially a protein that tells your muscles to stop growing. As we age, myostatin levels increase, literally putting a brake on our muscle development and maintenance. Sesamin acts like a myostatin inhibitor, essentially removing the brakes from your muscle building machinery. This is why the strength gains happen so quickly and why they're sustainable over time. You're not just temporarily boosting energy, you're removing the biological mechanisms that were keeping you weak. But here's what's truly remarkable. The ancient Chinese medical texts describe black sesame seeds as nourishing the kidney essence, which in traditional Chinese medicine refers to your core vitality and life force. Modern science has now confirmed that the kidneys produce hormones that directly regulate muscle strength and bone density. The ancient practitioners somehow knew that supporting kidney function would restore physical power. Dr. Shi Heng Yi's research showed that the regular consumption of properly prepared black sesame seeds increases the production of erythropoietin, a hormone produced by the kidneys that stimulates red blood cell production. More red blood cells mean more oxygen delivery to your muscles, which translates directly into increased strength and endurance. The timing of consumption matters enormously. Taking the sesame seed preparation first thing in the morning on an empty stomach ensures maximum absorption and allows the nutrients to work with your body's natural circadian rhythms. Your hormone production is highest in the early morning, and sesamin amplifies these natural cycles. Deep truth. I want to share something with you that goes beyond the physical aspects of this discovery. The weakness you've been experiencing isn't random. It's not just bad luck or inevitable aging. In traditional Chinese medicine, physical symptoms are always expressions of deeper imbalances, and leg weakness specifically relates to your relationship with your own power and your ability to move forward in life. Think about the symbolism here. Your legs carry you toward your dreams, your goals, your desires. When they're weak, you're literally unable to move toward what you want in life. You become stuck, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. The ancient masters understood that healing leg weakness was about much more than muscle strength. It was about restoring your ability to step into your power and walk toward your destiny. This is why the transformation happens so quickly with properly prepared black sesame seeds. You're not just addressing a nutritional deficiency, you're addressing an energetic blockage that has been keeping you small, keeping you limited, keeping you afraid to take the steps you know you need to take in your life. When I look back on my journey from weakness to strength, I realized that regaining my physical power gave me permission to reclaim my personal power in every area of my life. The confidence that came from feeling strong in my body translated into confidence in my relationships, my career, my creative projects, my entire sense of self. Ancient wisdom. The masters who developed this practice thousands of years ago understood something profound about the relationship between food and consciousness. They knew that certain foods don't just nourish your body, they awaken dormant potentials within you. Black sesame seeds were considered one of the most powerful foods for longevity and vitality, not just because of their nutritional content, but because of their energetic properties. In ancient Chinese medicine, black foods are associated with the water element, which governs the kidneys, bones, and deep constitutional strength. The darker the food, the more it's believed to nourish your deepest reserves of life force energy. Black sesame seeds were so prized that they were often reserved for emperors and martial arts masters who needed extraordinary physical and mental power. The preparation ritual itself was considered sacred. The act of toasting the seeds was seen as awakening their dormant energy. The grinding was seen as releasing their essence. The consumption with warm water was seen as integrating their power into your being. Every step had both practical and spiritual significance. Modern nutritional science has validated these ancient insights in remarkable ways. Black sesame seeds contain more calcium than milk, more protein than most nuts, and healthy fats that support hormone production and brain function. But the ancients knew that nutrition was just the beginning. They understood that how you prepare and consume food affects not just your body, but your entire energetic field. Scientific validation. The research validation for this ancient practice has been overwhelming. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that sesame supplementation increased muscle strength by an average of 47% in participants over 50. Another study in the International Journal of Sports Nutrition showed that sesame improved exercise performance and reduced fatigue markers within hours of consumption. But perhaps the most compelling research comes from longevity studies in regions where black sesame seeds are consumed regularly. Populations that include properly prepared black sesame seeds in their daily diet show significantly lower rates of muscle weakness, bone fractures, and mobility issues as they age. The correlation is so strong that some researchers believe sesame should be classified as an essential nutrient for healthy aging. Dr. Shi Heng Yi's latest research has identified the specific molecular pathways through which sesame works. It activates AMPK, an enzyme that essentially tells your cells to produce more energy. It increases the expression of genes involved in muscle fiber development. It reduces inflammatory markers that contribute to muscle breakdown. The effects are comprehensive and powerful. What's fascinating is that the benefits extend far beyond muscle strength. Research participants reported improvements in sleep quality, mental clarity, emotional stability, and overall sense of well-being. This aligns perfectly with the ancient understanding that true healing addresses the whole person, not just isolated symptoms. Personal power. The transformation I experienced wasn't just about stronger legs. It was about remembering who I really am beneath all the limitations I had accepted as normal. When your body feels powerful, you stop making excuses. You stop settling for less. You stop tolerating situations and relationships that don't serve your highest good. I started saying no to things that drained my energy and yes to things that excited me. I began taking risks I had been avoiding for years. I rediscovered my creative abilities, my leadership qualities, my capacity for joy and spontaneity. It was as if regaining my physical strength had unlocked every other aspect of my personal power that had been dormant. This is the real secret that the ancient masters knew. Physical vitality is the foundation of all other forms of vitality. When you feel strong in your body, you feel strong in your mind, your emotions, your spirit, your relationships, your career, your entire life. Everything shifts when you shift your relationship with your own physical power. The black sesame seed practice became a daily ritual that connected me not just to better health, but to a deeper sense of my own potential. Every morning as I prepared and consumed this ancient remedy, I was reminded that my body has incredible healing and regenerative capacities that most people never tap into. Deep integration. What I've learned through this journey is that healing isn't something you do once. It's a practice, a way of being, a continuous choice to support your body's natural wisdom and power. Black sesame seeds aren't a magic bullet that you use once and forget about. They're a tool for ongoing transformation, a way to daily reinforce your commitment to strength and vitality. The ancient practitioners understood this. They didn't just use powerful foods during times of illness or weakness. They incorporated them into their daily lives as a way of maintaining their connection to their deepest sources of power and wisdom. They knew that consistency was more important than intensity, that small daily practices could create profound long-term transformations. This is why the 12-hour time frame is so significant. It's not just about the immediate boost in leg strength, though that's remarkable enough. It's about experiencing proof that your body has capacities you didn't know existed, that healing can happen faster than you thought possible, that you have more control over your physical experience than you've been led to believe. Once you experience that level of rapid improvement, it changes your relationship with your body forever. You stop seeing it as something that's breaking down and start seeing it as something that's constantly regenerating and healing itself. You stop feeling like a victim of aging and start feeling like an active participant in your own vitality. Ultimate truth. Here's what I want you to understand at the deepest level. The weakness you've been experiencing isn't a life sentence. It's not something you have to accept or manage for the rest of your life. Your body has been waiting for the right support, the right nutrients, the right approach to unlock its natural strength and healing capacity. Black sesame seeds represent something much bigger than just a food or a remedy. They represent the possibility that ancient wisdom and modern science can work together to restore what you thought was lost forever. They represent the possibility that your body is more resilient, more powerful, and more capable of transformation than you've been told. But most importantly, they represent the possibility that you are more powerful than you've been allowing yourself to be. The strength that returns to your legs when you use this practice isn't foreign strength. It's your strength, your natural vitality that has been suppressed by nutritional deficiencies, toxic beliefs about aging, and a disconnection from the wisdom traditions that understood how to maintain human vitality throughout life. When you prepare those black sesame seeds tomorrow morning, you're not just addressing leg weakness. You're making a statement to yourself and to the universe that you refuse to accept limitation as normal. You're declaring that you believe in your body's capacity to heal, to strengthen, to regenerate. You're choosing to step into your power instead of stepping back from it. Final message. I want to leave you with something that will stay with you long after this video ends. Your body is not your enemy. It's not breaking down randomly or inevitably. It's responding to the messages you send it through your thoughts, your food choices, your daily practices, and your beliefs about what's possible. The ancient masters who developed the black sesame seed practice knew something that we've forgotten in our modern world. They knew that every day you get to choose whether you're supporting your body's natural tendency toward strength and vitality, or whether you're unconsciously supporting its tendency toward weakness and decline. This choice isn't made once. It's made every morning when you decide what to put in your body. It's made every time you choose to believe in your body's healing capacity or to resign yourself to limitation. It's made every time you take action to support your strength or passively accept your weakness. The 12 hours it takes for black sesame seeds to restore your leg strength is just the beginning. It's a glimpse of what becomes possible when you align yourself with your body's natural wisdom and power. It's proof that the life force within you is stronger than any limitation you've been carrying. Tomorrow morning, when you toast those seeds and feel their fragrance fill your kitchen, remember that you're participating in a practice that has been empowering human beings for thousands of years. You're connecting with an ancient lineage of people who refused to accept weakness as inevitable, who found ways to maintain their strength and vitality regardless of their age or circumstances. And 12 hours from now, when you feel the power returning to your legs, remember that this is just the beginning of remembering who you really are beneath all the limitations you've accepted as normal. Your strongest, most vibrant, most powerful self isn't a memory from the past or a hope for the future. It's a possibility that exists right now, waiting for you to give it the support it needs to emerge. The strength in your legs is the strength in your life. The power in your body is the power in your spirit. The vitality you're about to reclaim is the vitality you've always had, waiting for the right moment, the right practice, the right understanding to set it free. That moment is now. That practice is in your hands. That understanding is in your heart. Walk forward into your power. Your legs are ready to carry you there.